just taking a quick look at this new Defender Octa. So this one might be the one you want to buy, you know, if you thought the regular Defender just didn't look, you know, it just didn't quite have that beefy, tough look that you've always wanted in something like a Defender. Now, you know, of course, you could always dress this thing up, right? If you got all the accessories in here, it's, yeah, I mean, you could still make this thing look like a proper off-roader. And in fact, you know, we'll talk about this a little bit more at the end of the video, but this design, yeah, when it first debuted, I think a lot of people, it really didn't get, it really didn't get a lot of positive reactions, did it? You know, people thought it was too soft, too smooth, too refined for what a Defender is, but guess what? They've been selling like a ton of these things. So we get these, yeah, well, okay, yeah, let's talk about the changes here. Number one, like you can just see visually, yeah, we get these huge fender flares, and there's a reason for that. Actually, they say the stance on this thing is almost 3 inches wider than your standard Defender. I mean, you can really see that. You can see it right there. So, and guess what? It actually sits up an inch higher as well. And of course, you know, it's gonna, it actually looks well integrated into this design. It almost looks like it should have just, it should have just been like this from the beginning. And then, you know, there's like the little changes. Yeah, the grill, basically the grill comes up higher here. So I don't know, you know, it's, well, I guess there's a reason. There's a reason. Yeah, you can see that. There's a reason because guess what? This has got that new twin turbo 4.4 liter V8. Yes, it's a mild hybrid, but you know, basically this thing's got big power, over 600 horsepower. You know, it's the same engine that debuted in the Range Rover Sport, basically. But, you know, this is obviously going to be the more off-road oriented version. Well, you know, they do say that this thing is going to be quite fast on road as well. So now you're not going to be, you know, you're not going to be going real, you're not going to be going for like a top speed if you're off-road. So it kind of depends on, yeah, it kind of depends on what you want. If you want something with just more power and you plan on taking it off-road, and of course you want this look, this is, yeah, this look is awesome. I mean, really, this is, like I said, this is kind of what I think the Defender should have looked like from the beginning. But yeah, so there's two variants here. You can go for this off-road version if you want the speed. You know, guess what? You're not going to be doing it. You're not going to be doing top speed runs with these all-terrain tires. You know, these are the 33-inch all-terrain Goodyears. You know, they do advertise they do advertise if you want to go like 155 miles per hour in this thing, it will do it, but you got to go for these. You got to go for the 22-inch with the all seasons. So yeah, this is the street look. So they are offering, you know, again, both versions. So this isn't strictly like an off-road package. On-road performance or off-road, it doesn't, either one. I mean, and again, this kind of goes back to what we were saying at the beginning of the video. You know, you see a lot of these kind of in city streets. But this design, I gotta say, I mean, you know, it really has aged well. It does have this very sophisticated look. Expensive, classy, and kind of just, you know, intimidating look, but yet at the same time, it's very refined, very modern looking. And, you know, if you want to do the, if you want to do the off-road stuff as well, I don't know, somehow this design just gets better and better the older it gets. And I think all the criticism that originally, surrounded this vehicle when it came out, I don't think you can, especially with this Octa version, you get the Octa version with the accessories, the snorkels, the roof rack here. Yeah, right there. This thing looks like an intense off-roader as well. So yeah, just the fact that they're able to kind of have a vehicle that can go after two different markets like that with one design, and it looks good either way. It looks hey, I guess we were all wrong, right? The designers obviously knew what they were doing, what they were going for. Now, as far as other little aesthetic changes, yeah, we do get these gold recovery hooks. There's a single one up front. Yeah, you see it there. And then out back, there's actually two of them. And again, yeah, the gold color. And it doesn't matter, which trim you go for either. If you want to go for the street version, evidently you still get the gold recovery hooks. And then this is new as well. Check this out. There's like these square exhaust. Actually, I don't know. I know this is the performance version, but I don't know if we really needed this. But I guess, yeah, they have it like squared off there, as you can see, to kind of match the taillights. Whereas, with the standard Defender, it was just kind of tucked in there. And you would think, too, like for off-roading, it would be better just to kind of tuck it away. So, yeah, you can see it there. I guess it does kind of sit up into the bumper. I don't know. It kind of looks like it does stick out a little bit. So, but they do say that the bumpers themselves, at least, they've kind of revised them to actually increase the approach and departure angles for this Octa version. Slightly, I guess. As we said, it does kind of sit up an inch higher as well. And then, I don't know. Maybe that's true. Maybe that is true. So, and by the way, this suspension is a trick suspension. It's basically an air suspension setup without any anti-roll bars. They call this the 6D chassis control. So it uses some like trick damper setup to basically, when you're driving on road, to minimize the pitch and roll. Evidently this thing stays super flat, in fact. But then, yeah, if you take it off road, this is kind of the whole point. This is the whole reason they developed this suspension. Without the anti-roll bars, the articulation you can get is tremendous. Like they're not even really showing it here. And, again, if you are interested in the more street performance, yeah, they're saying, with this engine over 600 horsepower, they're saying less than 4 seconds, 0 to 60. And of course, with a big vehicle like this that goes that fast, yeah, they had to upgrade the brakes as well. These are actually 15.7 inch rotors, 6 piston Brembo brake calipers up front too. And then we do get some new seats on the inside as well. Of course, because, I don't know, you might be driving this thing a little bit more aggressively than your standard Defender. So they do say these new seats, you can see they got integrated headrests as well. They do say there's more like support, side bolster support. I don't know. There's, if there is, there's not much. I guess, well, if you look at especially the bottom section, this is the standard seat. It's like a bench style seat, really. You're supposed to be able to just slide in and out of this thing. So I guess they didn't want to affect that too much. So I guess, hey, it's a nice change as well, because guess what? You're going to be paying a lot of money for this thing, aren't you? The standard Defender is not cheap, by the way. So, if you want the Octa version, you want the performance, you want this look, yeah, I guess, hey, it's nice that you do get some interior upgrades as well. And it's not just about having the cash for this thing. You gotta get in line. You better call up your dealer, because guess what? They're saying there's only going to be 1,000 of these for North America.